Hi, and welcome to Sixcess Stories. We are your hosts, Christina Gent.
And Eric Ozarowski.
And this is where we share real conversations with the 6 Degrees community all about life, leadership, and the power of meaningful connections. On today's episode, we have the so very happy, uniquely wired Frenchman, Frederic Rault, and he is an agency owner with Goosehead Insurance.
With Frederic, we talk about his journey from growing up in a rural, blue-collar mining town in France to moving to Paris in his 20s and then ultimately living out the quote-unquote American dream, which led him to deciding to be his own boss and starting his own insurance agency after working his entire career in software. The economy and some of the companies that he worked at kind of forced him to play that hand. We get into that a little bit, and with him having a tech background, it led to us talking about the future of technology, AI, self-driving cars, and how important it is to understand the past to really know where we're headed. And he had some really interesting insights about some of that.
Yeah, I really loved hearing more about France. I feel like we spent some good time talking about that and how he grew up, and then Paris in his 20s. I mean, that sounds like trouble and fun all wrapped up in one little fun city. So that was
Oui.
So this was really fun. I really appreciated being able to hear a little bit more of Frederic's background. So I hope you all enjoyed this episode of Sixcess Stories.
Typically, we start these with a check-in, and just to kind of be grounded in this space. Are you both good on temperature-wise? Is it hot in here?
No, it's okay for me.
Okay?
It's a little warm.
Yeah.
It's a little warm for you, I'm guessing, yes.
Yeah, if you want to text.
I'll text Rob.
Just let him know. For the three of us, so it sounds like you've got some annoyances, I'll call them. Just life happening.
Yeah, the little things.
Yeah, what's something positive that each of us have experienced recently that makes you feeling good about what you're doing, professionally or personally?
I'm always like between two seats, but it's a mix between a bad thing or not that good that creates or generate more business potential for me.
Sure.
Okay.
So I'll take that as a good. But the market state right now, it's still in shambles. I mean, it's just crazy. The condos are almost impossible to insure properly. I mean, a lot of companies are still not renewing their existing customers. The customers, they know Allstate, they know Farmers, they know the big names, but none of them are riding anymore in California.
Right.
They ended up hitting a wall. So it gives me more opportunity. I mean, yesterday, back-to-back, I had 7 leads incoming from lenders. I wish all my days were like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a positive.
Well,
for sure.
yes and no, because I ended up working until midnight. So, it's not that great. But I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I don't turn on a regular basis 7 leads from lenders. I mean, so qualified lead per day.
That's a good day in the insurance world.
Yes. So it was a hell of a day.
Yeah.
I don't like why I have that volume. I would rather have people buying new places than lenders calling me to tell me, hey, I had that customer for 10 days and he was trying to renew his insurance and his premium went up by 200%.
Right.
Or he got a notice from the carriers that they're not going to renew. And we are early March. Most of the time they sending those little notes.
Right.
A month or 45 days max prior, and the people are just panicking because they've heard that the insurance market is really hard, and so they think I have only 45 days to find a new policy, and then don't know where to go. So that's, again, a mixed bag.
Creating opportunity for you, and the
Yes.
downside of that is it's not the ideal situation for anyone in the market.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Christina, how about you? What's something positive?
Oh yeah, I'm long. Just
No, you're fine.
Oh, yeah, you're
cut me
good.
off.
No, this is a conversation, so it's all good.
Talking is good in this environment.
Yeah, exactly.
we can trim it down. We can't add it.
This is a fact.
This is a fact.
Well, I guess maybe not a fact because we've got AI, but that's not what this is about. So I say something positive. I think what I'm sitting with right now is, I think because of bringing on a team and just there's constant learning happening for Eric and I as we navigate being in a leadership position and trying to understand how I can communicate more effectively and be a better example in certain things in certain ways. And so to be able to do that. So I think the positive for me is just, I think we keep putting ourselves in a position to push ourselves further and to continue leveling up, which is one of our values at 6 Degrees anyway. So sometimes as frustrating as maybe certain things can be, it's okay, and how am I presenting myself and showing up as a leader, right? So much of the frustration is probably more from the way that I'm coaching rather than the other person, right? So I think just that opportunity, I'm seeing that so much as a win.
Sure, as more of an opportunity than
absolutely.
a negative.
You look zen.
Thank you.
Shoes off.
I get
shoes
comfy.
off, hair
I get
down,
really
cross
comfy in here.
It's almost like a Buddha.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
For me, this is top of mind because that's why I was in one of the groups today, and it just reinforced, I think, Frederic, for you, and I'd be interested in getting into this a little bit with you, but since you've been part of, you kind of have seen the evolution with us, but it reinforced that, like, what we're doing at 6 Degrees and the environment that we create specifically in the groups and what people are getting out of it, it really got reinforced today. So we had a couple new people in the room, and they're like, I've been to a lot of different quote unquote networking things, and this feels real, this feels genuine, this feels, and I mean, like, everyone here, like, they're experts at what they do, and that got reinforced today, and it just felt good. It's good to hear, good to get reminded of it.
That's right.
Sometimes I get stuck in the weeds around, like, I want to change this or tinker with this, and how can we make it better, and the other side of that is comparing it to other things in a healthy way can actually be really productive.
I would second that.
So I would love to hear from you. Insurance is a newer thing, right? I'd love to go back a little bit and talk about before insurance.
I mean,
before that?
If anything, I actually
take me back to France.
No,
even?
that's actually where
going?
I would love to go back to France, where it's like, I would love to just hear about what it was like growing up in France, because it's different from here, and it's different from most of the people who we've had on here. They're all from the U.S., at least in some way, right? Some people who have lived outside of the country and done other things, but I think you might be the first person that we've talked to who was like born in another country and came here. I think maybe.
We definitely have other people that have citizenships in other places, but I don't know that we've had them on the podcast.
Yeah. So I just would love to hear about, like, what was it like growing up in France?
I'd love to talk to you about that. Well, first I was born and raised in the northern part of France, nearby Belgium.
Okay.
It's rural country, but also it's mining country. So mining was big in this region of France. And when the mining shut down, of course, the impact was tremendous.
Sure.
And so I was born in 65.
Okay.
I'm 60 years old.
Congrats. Not everyone makes it to 60.
Yeah. And so I was born at a time where the mining were starting to go down. I'm the youngest of three. So the options for the people living there were not huge. You have
minimal opportunity.
A couple of opportunities here and there. If you had like a specific craft, you would find a job. But don't ask the best job on earth. It would be a job, side a job.
Sure.
My parents were willing to let us kids, go to school and go to college, or the equivalent of college in France, and then to university. So my sister was not in that game, so she had a short stint at school.
Got it.
But my brother and I, we went both to university type of school. And that was the first time. Maybe high school was kind of the first time, but university, that is where I learned about the world. I met other people coming from all over France. I acquired skills. It opened my mind.
Yeah. It was, the university was local to where you grew
Yes.
up? Okay.
Yes. I stayed put until 88. I didn't move there. That was just the north. I got middle school, elementary school, high school were just local in my town.
Okay.
And it's just an extension of high school when put me into a nearby place. And then university, I went to 25 miles away. Which is like, come on, man.
Had you not gone anywhere outside of that?
Like visiting?
Oh no, not really. I
Not
mean,
really.
we had vacation
Right.
type of thing.
Sure.
I had a couple of school trips in Paris, but not really the traveling kind in my
Sure.
family.
Okay.
Did you travel since you were near Belgium, did you get to travel into Belgium at all? Or
Yes.
did you, yeah, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's really like by the border, so
Yeah.
it crisscrossing from each side. The gas and the tobacco was cheaper in Belgium, so we would just drive.
Go over there and
with
get-
my dad would drive us across the border, and the Belgium people were coming across in France for the English, the UK people now.
Mm-hmm.
They cross the channel just for the beer because it's cheaper. So, yeah, we had that type of interactions. But after my university, 4 years of university, I extended that to a specific training on a software type of thing.
Yeah.
And then I started looking for work. So two options. Either I stay put in the same region and I'm going to become a worker, XYZ, or I go to the equivalent of college, the university, and then it may open more doors to me. And that's what I did. I was hoping I could go to the south of France for my university time.
Sure.
But then my parents put their veto. You're going to stay put nearby us.
What did they do for work?
My dad was working with Renault, which is like a large car maker company in France.
Okay.
And they happened to have a manufacturing and assembly site nearby. So he was working there. But his initial craft was in the plumbing.
Okay.
He was building house and stuff. My dad had like gold in his hands. He could do anything.
Wow.
I saw him build like a chimney from nothing. I wish I could be as crafty as he
Yeah,
was. but
very, very handy. Just anything.
yeah,
anything.
I have two left hands. He had two right hands. You know, so that's it. And then during my software time at the university, it was a very nice program to me. I mean, the way I saw it was full of opportunities. You had a mixed time at the university and short stint, like 1 or 2 weeks, with industrial companies or with software companies. So that was very exciting for me because, you know, software in the north of France, where I used to live, nothing, no way. Not a computer inside.
It sounds like
nothing.
a very just blue collar
Oh,
type
yeah,
of,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like
Yeah,
Chicago.
very rural.
Chicago reminds me of parts of
Rural,
Chicago.
yes.
Yeah.
Um,
Working class, hard working
exactly.
class. Yeah.
hard as nails.
Yeah.
Those guys.
Tough.
Whatever. And one of the partnership that this university had, well, they had a few with software-based companies, but all of them were in Paris. For my parents, it was Paris. Are you crazy? We don't see you in Paris. I say, I don't care if you see me or not. I want to go.
Yeah. How far is Paris from where you lived?
About 2 hours
Okay.
south of Paris.
Okay.
So again, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
I mean, it's far from it.
Yeah.
It's such a different vibe, and the people are different, and it was just two different planets,
Sure.
light years away. I got an internship with one of these companies at the end of my special formation, whatnot. And then after that, so it lasted about a year. For a year, I was living in a small hotel room with all the commodities outside of the room. But again, it was nice. To me, it was such an excitement.
Yeah.
Being in Paris alone. Jesus Christ.
In your 20s? Yeah.
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 It's just,
Paris alone in your 20s. And
Yeah, that sounds
yeah,
amazing.
I mean, it was perfect. It would be you in New York alone at 18 or 20 years of age.
Yeah. Get into
Or
some
you
trouble
in
and
your
have.
favorite place, which I don't know which one it is, but that was such an excitement.
Yeah. Any specific stories or memories that you can share that you
And that's
when you
FW, not suitable for work. I mean, imagine a young guy
Oh yeah, I can imagine it.
from a working class upbringing, alone in Paris with a little bit of money in his pocket.
Yeah.
So the shows, the Moulin Rouge, clubs, I mean, it's just, that was a great year.
Yeah.
Great
It's a
year.
great year. I can.
And after that, they offered me a job, so I stayed put there for a few years.
Okay, you stuck around. Okay.
Yeah. And I bought my first apartment then in Paris.
In Paris.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I can imagine.
That's it, and after, the life in Paris, and then I met Catherine, my wife.
How did you and Catherine meet?
Well, she was doing a temp job in the same company.
Oh, okay. You worked in the
So
same
she
company.
was hostessing or welcoming the people coming into the building.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was a mechanical engineer by trade. So I was with the people at the bottom level, the people who are making the machine,
Yeah.
And all the management and the salespeople were upstairs. So she was she was between us. But she was always going downstairs to talk with the guys and never upstairs.
Sure.
But that's all right. That's how we met. A lot of story around, but we'll share those over beers. And
If you want a beer,
Another
we can get a beer.
after that, I worked for 3 or 4 different companies in Paris.
Okay.
And the last one was a startup. So at the time, another revolution, the data mining, AI
Yeah.
of the day.
Those 3 or 4 companies, all software
Yeah.
focused.
Yeah,
SaaS.
oh yeah. All software,
Yeah.
just that. And I was in the design. I worked on the design. I worked in the manufacturing side of things. And I started working on the project management side of things, where you have like millions of gigabytes of data to manage.
Sure.
And so at some point, I got an opportunity to join a startup company, French startup company, who was doing data mining stuff. The management, I mean, they were great. I mean, I fell in love with the company and the management. And they had a plus for me. They had a few negative, but a high positive for me was they were planning to expand the company in the US.
Okay.
And they were willing not to hire a local US guy because of the type of software. They wanted somebody with all the knowledge ready to go in the US.
Sure.
So hit the ground running kind of thing. I said, okay, I'm your guy. Hire me. I don't care about the salary as long as I have a true opportunity to move to the States.
What was the why? Like, why were you wanting to move to the U.S.?
A kid's dream.
Okay.
My dad was a fan of Western movies.
Oh.
And so every day I was watching a Western with my dad. Every weekend we were watching Westerns with my dad. We were talking about Westerns. We never talked a lot, but that domain
Yeah.
was where we met.
Sure.
Yeah.
And so then after I grew up watching more US movies, watching golf, everything that was from afar related to the States. I wanted to have a chance there. And so that company gave it to me. I mean, we had a plan. It's a long story. I'm sorry. I mean, I could stay put here for hours. So their plan was we're going to create 2 offices, one East Coast, one West Coast. We're going to ship 2 French guys, one in Boston, the other one in San Francisco. Frederic, you're going to take care of San Francisco and West. And you're going to split the rest in the middle with the other guy. So I was West Coast all the way to half Midwest.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Giant territory.
It's insane.
Can I buy me a plane and put that on the expense? No, probably. Well, so we had private capital companies backing us,
Sure.
and they dropped the ball. They sold the company to a US-based company. So we lost all control of the plans, of the expansion plan. It became the new US-based company expansion plan. They don't had an expansion plan. They were quite happy where they were.
Sure.
Midwest base in the Twin Cities. They were, no, we're fine. You're going to travel a lot, but that's all right. We're good with that.
Yeah, we'll pay. We'll pay for it.
Yeah.
So bye-bye San Francisco.
Yeah.
Not even an opportunity in East Coast. You're going to start your U.S. life in Minnesota.
That's where you. Is that where you? That's where you came here
rough.
first.
Yes.
Specifically for work.
So imagine my wife, Catherine. I was telling her, hey, we're going to go live in San Francisco.
Yeah, that's a different dream you're painting.
Nice French Quarter.
Yeah.
It's known, the name San Francisco is known in France. Minneapolis is not,
Yeah.
No.
to tell you a little bit. And one day I come back from work and I had to tell her and our 2 kids, I had to tell them, you know what? Do you like Prince? That's the only thing I had connecting a positive with Minnesota.
Prince.
So, do you like Prince? Kiss? No.
That's
Oh my
amazing.
God.
And she looked at me and she said, what the hell are you talking about? So I told her, listen, San Francisco is out of the window. Minnesota it is. But it's nice, they have French school or they have kind of French programs.
Sure. Kind of.
Kind of. Yeah.
And she said no.
Oh, she said no.
No, she said no. So I came back a few weeks after discussing that with the new boss. He was telling me, why don't you go live in Chicago?
It's better.
Larger
than
city,
Yeah.
nicer city. And they really have a French-American school over there.
Yeah.
And we'll pay for the tuition because it's private over there.
Yeah. And you had kids at this point.
Yes.
How old were they?
Well, Helen was 10
Okay.
and Elise was 7. So they needed school. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
And we were not feeling like comfortable putting them straight in the U.S. system because they had no English at all.
Oh, okay.
None whatsoever. They were too young to start a second language in the French school system.
Mm-hmm.
So they had no exposure at all. So it was a bit too risky. So Chicago, we went to Chicago for like 4 days. We visited a couple of houses. We were ready. I was ready to pull the trigger because I was growing impatient.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure how long they would keep the door open
Sure.
for me. So I was really pushing hard on Catherine. And Catherine is like that. If you push too hard, she shuts you down.
Sure.
So her final decision was go to Minnesota, but by yourself. I'm going to stay back with our 2 kids.
Yeah.
Give it sometimes. Make sure that it's working, that the condition would be acceptable, blah, 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 blah. And maybe you'll have another opportunity after a few months with them. So it was either that or nothing. So I said, okay, I'm going to go to Minnesota all by myself.
Wow.
So I landed in Minneapolis early October 2007.
Okay.
And then I got hit by winter.
Yep. It'll get you.
It's cold in Minnesota.
Like a stupid boy, I had my golf bag with me. I was hoping to play golf. And the guy at work looked at me and said, hey, boy, wait for May.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, it's not possible. I've seen bubbles and you can practice. No, it's too cold.
No.
You can't do anything. So my golf bag had a very lonely life in my small condo for 6 to 7 months.
Is that how long you ended up being there in Minnesota?
I arrived in October, and in July, we arrived in San Diego.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
So
okay.
not that hard of a time. But the CEO at the time was more like, I want to trust him. I don't know him. I don't want to put a lot of money on his shoulders or for him or with him.
Yeah.
So we got to work together. He plays golf. So we couldn't play golf, but we could talk golf. And from time to time, when he wanted a beer, all of a sudden we had like a 9 holes or 9 items appointment, like he said. So he was just bringing me in some sort of driving range, but he was spending his time drinking beers. But
Sure.
he was a nice guy. I think he passed away since. He was a really nice guy. And one day, it was obvious for everybody in the Minnesota office that I was not quite happy with the situation. Right?
Did your family ever join you in Minneapolis?
Yeah, they came for Christmas '07.
Okay.
We had a great time. They loved the snow. I say, well, wait until you have 3 months of
Yeah, the
snow.
snow's fun. The snow's fun to get
To
a
go
taste
play
of and
in.
go.
Yeah,
go.
it's like, Paris on vacation for 1 week. It's
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
Live there, and we'll talk again.
Yeah,
But
it's different.
anyhow, they had a great time. The people over there are so nice. They opened the doors for us, blah, blah, blah. So it was really a great time. By the end, I was not against staying put there, to be honest.
Sure.
But then my boss, John, told me, hey, you know what? I know you now. I trust you now. So go wherever you want to go. So an hour after, I was back on my budget Excel file. I checked again. San Francisco was way above our pay grade. We couldn't do anything in San Francisco.
Sure.
Unless we were like an hour and a half far from San Francisco in the southeast.
Right.
I told him, I'm sorry, but I'm going to stay put because I cannot afford, with the salary you're giving me, I cannot afford San Francisco. He told me, go check San Diego. San Diego? Where is that? None of it. I mean, never heard of San Diego prior in my life. And our big customer was Boeing. They had a couple of offices based in LA or around LA.
Yeah.
So he was doing a lot of trips back and forth to a point where he had a secondary condo in LA. So he knew about SoCal, he knew about LA, he knew about San Diego. Apparently, a lot of people living in LA are going to San Diego to spend the weekend or whatnot.
Yeah.
So he bought me a ticket. I spent a long weekend in San Diego checking the place. And I called Catherine and said, hey, we have a place. I know where I want to go.
Yeah.
And she said yes. Make a long story short, she was not that satisfied with it, but she came around. So yeah, that's how we ended up in San Diego in July '08.
Wow.
July of '08. Okay.
We still were like campers because our house from Paris was put in a big box. And that big box only arrived in October '08.
Got it.
So from July to October, we were just camping in a house.
camping in a house.
Just
That's all right.
yeah.
And you've been here. So you've been in San Diego since.
Yeah.
Since '08. It's a good time to. Did you buy the house when you moved here in '08?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good time. I mean, looking back on it, right?
Mhm.
Like obviously, it was
yeah,
crazy
yeah,
times
yeah.
in the world. But
Absolutely.
how often have you been back to Paris since you've been here, or
Or just-
France?
yeah,
not
France,
necessarily
yeah.
Paris, but France.
That's the sole point. We were going back to Paris at least once a year for the first 5 years, I would say. And then in 2013, Catherine lost her dad.
Mm.
And I got in a fight with my older brother, and my sister, she stayed in the middle. She didn't want to, it's hard for her to say, hey, it's you or you. And so I slowly but surely I lost communication with my family over there. My parents were dead. My uncle and aunts were dead, so everybody was dead. I just had distant relatives stayed in France, but that's all. So I lost any needs to go back to France.
Sure. That's kind of how Chicago has. People ask me, "Oh, do you go back to Chicago to go see your family?" And I'm like, "My dad lives in North Carolina. My sister and my mom are in Denver.
Yeah,
Everyone spreads out, and people
I
pass
remember
away."
one year we went back to France for vacation time in July or August. We had scheduled 3 weeks. In 3 weeks, I felt like I drove like gazillions miles because that's all we did was going to point A, sleep, drink, eat, have fun with friends or family, and then next morning drove 250 miles or whatnot to go to the next point. And we just did I was exhausted after that.
Yeah, it's not a vacation.
It's
Yeah,
not
it's just-
vacation.
yeah.
We've
It's,
talked about that.
effort.
There's a difference between having kind of family obligations and going to see people because it's a birthday
Yeah.
or whatever versus like
Exactly.
I'm going to go on the beach and do nothing for
Yeah.
a week.
I mean,
Those
this
are
is
two,
my vacation.
Those are two
right?
different
You
kinds
know?
of things, and I'm with you.
I was like, where is the resort?
yeah,
Uh-huh.
You know,
Uh-huh.
I want to have somebody bringing me, drinks and
Yeah.
food, and not have to go shop in a nearby convenience store to
right.
do that. So yeah. So I haven't. Catherine she still has a mom. So she's going back to France. She started going twice a year, and then after that it became 3 times a year,
right,
and
yeah.
now it's 4 times a year almost. So the traveling budget is gone just with that.
Yeah,
Just
Yeah.
with that.
for sure.
What do you miss the most about France?
De pain au chocolat, croissant, and coffee.
Yeah.
Good coffee is hard to find, right? But yeah, a couple of things about the food.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And also, of course, I mean, it's maybe true for Chicago. Did you grow up outside of the U.S. or in another state or part of U.S.?
Yeah, I was born in Kansas, and that's where I've spent most of my life, and I've moved around quite a bit, so I've been all over the U.S.
So I would say you probably still have the Kansas wiring in your brain and the Chicago wiring in your brain. I still have the French wiring in my brain. So when I talk to friends from France or customer coming from France, there's just like this instant connection and understanding between us.
Yeah.
yeah,
Whereas when I talk to a U.S. person, we understand each other fine, and we are able to sense things, but it's not immediate. So you need
Sure.
to work it a little bit to get to that point. So this is one of the missing point, is just like the tribe aspect of things that I don't have here.
yeah,
And when we arrived here, Catherine was not into, I mean, I was not helping either, but we were not willing to go and dive into the French community in San Diego. We didn't want to experience San Diego as part of French community. We wanted to be in America.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
that makes sense.
So we never created a deep relationship with the French community in San Diego.
Has that evolved or changed over time since you obviously
Yeah.
you've been here for a
Yeah.
while now, and I know
Well, yeah.
we've talked that there's a big
Yeah.
part of your client base that because
Exactly.
you're French,
Exactly.
there's that connection.
They saved the company, so I love them.
What do you mean by that?
Well, after my longer stint in the software business, so I went to company to company to company, and then the COVID hit. And I was in a very small company doing software consulting in the design and product data management. type
Wait,
of
is this
thing.
a company after the one where your boss John sent
Yes,
you to San
yes,
Diego?
Yes,
Okay,
after that.
so there was how
Because
long?
that company, John's company, was
Yeah.
acquired by a large software French company.
Okay,
So I ended up in that company.
okay,
So full circle.
Yeah.
yeah, full circle indeed.
And I had a skill set coming from the French startup, the data mining things. And I was almost the only one, or one of the few in that larger French company with knowledge and skills about that. So they put me in charge of that product line. But it was too soon for the large company. Data mining was like a novelty.
Sure.
So they never invested massively like we saw last year with AI. So that activity started to slow down, and so they kicked me out. I ended up working for a partner of that large company, but that partner was a very small structure, doing very like specialized work, and the COVID killed that company because main customer was Boeing. Boeing had the COVID plus the plane crash at the time, the
Right.
737, I think. And so they started stopping paying their tier 1 and tier 2 partners. And at some point, it was really becoming an issue because they stopped paying us
Yeah,
for the consulting and the license that we were providing. And the other large customer base was the electrical car. So at that time, it was also booming. A lot of small companies were in LA, startups, so having like millions of dollars of money to spend, so they were buying software left and right. But when COVID hit, boop, bye-bye the bubble.
Yeah.
Just crashed. So again, they kicked me out again. So I ended up no job, no future, visible right away. So I was like, okay, what can you do? And then I started looking for something that I could do by myself, where I would be my own boss, and with a decent chance of success. And I ended up, after a few months of due diligence, I ended up working in the insurance market with Goosehead Insurance. And I went live in September 2020. The timing was so great over time. It was crazy.
Yeah. Was there anything else that you considered seriously before picking insurance?
I did everything. I was ready to run a McDonald's. I was ready to do anything except consulting. I didn't want to do software consulting because all of the people laid off by the large company were in this market.
Sure.
So I wanted a job. I didn't want to become like a boxing guy because I have to box the other consulting people. And also, all of them were disqualified by me because they were asking me $500,000 from the get-go.
Sure.
You need a brick and mortar. Why? Because you need 2 employees or 3 employees. Why? I don't even have enough to make me work for half a day because those are my requirements. So farmers ask me $500,000. State Farm asked me $500,000.
Yeah.
And you have to buy the furnitures and the signage, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
So I said, no way.
But everything you explored was some sort of franchise model, some sort of model where the structure was there already.
Exactly.
Got it.
I wanted a minimum of like backing up either product or technology or whatnot. So I was willing to take risks, but not to a point where I would just dig my own holes.
Yeah.
You know, if I'm alone, like I said, I had 2 left hands. I had a functioning brain, but the franchisee system just made me feel like comfortable.
Sure. Yeah.
Made me believe I could do it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's one of the benefits of it, for sure. Is a lot of the problems or the challenges are kind of figured out in advance. Right.
It's simple, actually.
Yeah.
To get into insurance, it's simple. You just need a license.
Yeah.
And we pay the price of that over the last 2 years. But that was the idea. And Goosehead was just not asking me a lot of money. They were asking me $25,000.
Okay,
That's nothing.
Yeah, compared to
that's nothing.
Compared to $500,000.
But compared to
Right.
$500,000, no need for brick and mortar, no need for overhead right away, no need to invest in a lot of materials, marketing stuff. They were not trying to place their own stuff.
Sure.
I say, okay, let's go. Got my license in June, went live in September 2020. And then I hit rock bottom then. In October, I had 0 policy signed. I had 0 referral partners set up. So, I was like, that was a mistake. Better find plan B. I was not ready to pull the plug right there. And I was playing golf in a group, and in that group, we had 2 retired insurance brokers. So I'm going to hit them. I set up like a 9 holes. They were holes, so 9 holes was enough for them. And so
It's funny.
we played 9 holes, the 3 of us, and we talked. And at some point, they were telling me, hey, don't even try to sell a product. Try to sell you as an agent.
Yeah.
Find something that makes you special or different and do that. And when I was driving back home, I was thinking about that, and I said, hey, Frederic. I look in the mirror, I said, what makes you special? And it was obvious, I'm French.
Yeah.
If you put me aside somebody else, what is the difference between you and I? I'm French, you're not.
Yeah.
So I said, hey, babe, it's obvious. Try to talk with the French people, the French community in San Francisco, in San Diego, even in New York. At that time, I was able to write policy everywhere in the U.S. That's what I did, because it's easier to speak French with another French people. It worked, and so they helped me stay alive until December.
Got it. Okay, so they're the foundation of,
Yes.
when you say the French people save me, they're the foundation of your business.
I owe them everything.
Which is awesome, right? And
Yes.
I think there's an important lesson in there for anyone is, like what makes you special. Like the product is the product. And in today's world, it's most of these things are commodities, and I can go anywhere and get it. If we're talking price, the price is going to be a lower somewhere else. So if I sell myself, if I sell me, I was like, I like Frederic. Whether you're with Goosehead or a different agency or a different brokerage, I'm going to follow you because I like you, and you're
exactly.
If something happens, I mean, when I was in insurance, I would tell people, I was like, if something happens, do you want to call your dad or mom's agent that you've never talked to, or do you want to call me at midnight on Saturday? You're my friend. I'm going to pick up the phone.
Yeah,
there's
absolutely.
Right? Like there's a different level of relationship there. And I think that part's really important. If you could go back and do anything different, because it's been what? So that was basically it's been 5 years.
Yes.
Right. And usually my experience, 3 to 5 years to start any business. Insurance for sure, 3 to 5. What would you, if you could go back and do anything different, what would you do different?
I would find more money and hire a couple of producers right away.
Right away.
Farmers was not wrong in the fact that if you have producers, it's going to help you.
Yeah.
It's going to help you. It's a lot of, insurance, it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
You need to have a lot of volume in order to make a buck.
Yeah. The thing about insurance is the splits are so small compared to other, like a real estate agent. I might do 10 to 20 homes a year, and
that's it.
That's all I need. And mortgage is like 30 a month, at like 10 to 30 a month.
You don't need to hit huge goals or huge numbers to make a buck.
Yeah.
But in the insurance, and now the commission rate went down over the last 5 years. So on some policy, I'm making 10% maximum.
Right. The positive side and the flip side is you get the residual on it, right?
Everyone needs it. It's required by law to have insurance,
it's a commodity,
right?
Yes.
So there's a couple positives, but I do have to do a lot more work because I have to go collect way more people than someone who's doing the real estate side, the mortgage side.
It's a much heavier lift up front.
Yeah.
Like,
much heavier lift up front.
Those first 3 years are
hard.
3 to 4. The first 3 to 6 months of getting it off the ground are rough.
This is a long,
when you build it from scratch.
Tunnel. I'm telling you, a long, dark tunnel. When you see your savings running in front of you and saying bye bye. I know, but I knew that from the get-go.
Yeah,
I knew that from the start.
You knew what you were getting
it
into.
Would cost me something. But I was thinking you're going to build a legacy for your family.
For sure.
At the end of the day, the snowball effect, the residual, it's what creates your legacy.
Right.
If your book is large enough, your family will have like a little bit of money to either buy their first house or first condo or whatnot. So that's what I wanted to do. So that's what drove me for the first 3 years of long dark.
Was there a point, or what was the point where you got? Was it year 3, where you're like, this is working? I did the right thing.
I made money after the third year.
Third year.
Second and third year,
you became
I lost
profitable.
money.
Yeah.
At the end of the third year, I started paying tax. If you pay tax, you make money.
Right.
Right. You're in the positive. It was not a lot,
but that's better than losing money.
It was me generating that money. It was not a salary. I worked for that.
Yeah.
I worked for that. I spent long hours for that. I sacrificed a few things for that.
Yeah.
But again, it's mine. I mean, not 110% mine, but most of it is mine.
Yeah. Do you own the book of business through Goosehead? Yeah. That's a big deal.
Yeah. I was green 5 years ago, but I knew that I had to make sure that the book was mine and not farmers or whatnot.
Right. Yeah. Because I worked at State Farm, and we've talked about this, but if I was a State Farm agent, State Farm owns the book.
Yes.
And they're going to buy it back at whatever they decide to buy it back.
And you don't have any choice there.
Yeah. I can't take it to the open market and sell the book.
Exactly.
Right, because that's the other way to build that business is to buy a book from someone else.
Yes.
Right, and there's pros and cons to starting and building it from scratch. There's these 3 years that are really tough, and then the other side is more of an investment up front, and how many of those are the right client.
I bought one.
Oh, you did?
I bought one book for, I had a little bit of money, but like $15K, so it was nothing. It's a very small book.
Yeah.
But it's not the same, because when they call me or when they send me an email, I'm not clicking right away.
Sure.
Who are you? You don't want to ask a customer, who are you, right away, even if it's not your original customer. So yeah, I'm with you. I mean, you know, the paramount things to do is to own the book, because this is where you're creating value. So if you give that book away, you lost your value.
Right.
An empty shell at that
Yeah,
point.
you have the owner title, but it's just a title at that point.
It's just like
How,
inaugurer des chrysanthèmes, like we said in France.
yeah. So as someone that had this, you know, worked for companies, got kicked, you use the language, got kicked out of companies, got let go of companies a couple times. How rewarding has this been for you to be the one this is mine? I heard a little bit of what you were, the passion of I did that.
Yes.
And I'd love to hear a little bit more about that conviction. How is it different, right? So there's a bunch of people that talk about, someday I'd love to own something, but most people don't do it, right? And there's a level of stress and risk and calculation
and
to it.
It's just being open-minded enough to imagine you in that role.
Yeah.
It's not that easy. I mean, when I was in France, again, it took, from 88 until 2019, I was happy to be an employee.
Yeah.
You do your job well, you do your job with passion, you love it, but when it's 5:30, you're done.
You're done. Yeah, it's a job.
It's a job. So it took me a long time to believe in me enough to even imagine me in that role. And the kicker was my family, because I got kicked out multiple times. When I was young, I never stayed without work more than a week. The job market was so vivid at that time. You know, everybody was hiring right and left. So you were done on Friday. By Monday, you had the first interview with somebody.
Yeah.
So
Well, especially that industry, right?
Yes.
That industry during those, the
the heydays.
80s and 90s
Yeah.
was, it's a good place to be on the tech side.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a lot of money. I remember a CEO of a French company he was buying Ferraris for his employees to make them happy.
Wow.
You know,
That's insane.
Did you get a
the
Ferrari?
President's Club were not just like iffy models somewhere. That was the big 5-star palaces
Yeah.
in Monaco, all expense paid for a week
Yeah.
with
That's
your spouse.
wild.
So yeah, that was a great time.
Yeah.
No risk directly, because my money was not in the company.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
The company was giving me some money. They were making tons of money. Like I said, after 5:30 or 8 p.m., your work is done, so you can, go back to your private life and enjoy your family and friends and play tennis or go to see a movie without thinking what I've been thinking for the last 5 years, which is every single half second thinking of my business.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the negative of it.
Yeah.
It says you lose your life.
It's the trade-off, right? And
It's a trade-off.
I
But
mean, because multiple times you have mentioned, right, the getting kicked out of these companies. It's like, I think a lot of people will see entrepreneurship as that being really risky. And at the same time, if I work for a company, I can get let go at any time. There's actually a lot of risk in being at a company.
you don't control, and you don't know
Yeah,
what's going to
there's-
hit you tomorrow.
Exactly. Like, we just don't know. The pandemic happens, and then look at all these jobs that get lost, or AI comes to sweep in and jobs are gone. And so, do I want to be in charge of my own business, my own company, my own income, and know that, like, I'm going to input this to hopefully have this be the result of
Yes.
that, and I'm just going to keep working on that, rather than, like, I'm going to go work for somebody else. I'm going to make their dreams come true, and I could literally be gone tomorrow. Like, we just don't have any say in that.
But if you can project yourself back in 80s, 85, 90s, you were not forced to think like that.
Right.
Today, if you don't think like you just did, you're doomed. You're going to hit the wall very, very fast and very soon.
Yeah.
Back in those days, it was la dolce vita, no risk. I was not living afraid.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas since the 2010, 2015, the world changed a lot. And I was not afraid, but I was worried, because it was getting harder and harder by the minute. It helped me make that decision.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm telling my daughters right now, create a company or 2 as soon as you can, because you don't know what the future is going to give you. If you don't build your own wall, don't expect somebody else to build it for you, right? So you want protection, create the protection.
Yeah.
It's not foolproof,
Right.
but it will help. I'm sure it will help. Life insurance, I mean, if you have a teenager, start his life insurance right away.
Absolutely.
Baby when they're, what is it, 1?
Yeah. I mean,
1 years old, just do it when they're...
If
Just do
you
it.
say like, oh yeah, I'm gonna take a life insurance at 60 years old, yeah, get out of here.
Yeah,
It's not
how
gonna
does-
work. It's gonna cost you your life.
Right.
So, but yeah, and but I understand why younger people are not thinking like that, because they don't want to.
Well, I think because school, the way school in America specifically is set up, is designed for me to be a really good, obedient worker, right? Show up, do the thing. I get graded on the thing. If you don't live up to the spec,
Yeah.
we're going to reprocess you, and we're going to make sure that you live up to the spec,
Yeah.
and you will hold you
Yes.
back, right? So
Yeah.
the mindset and the mentality of a lot of people is like, I go to school to get a good job, and then I work for, and it's just changed so much.
So it's like, if I do what I'm asked to do, everything's gonna be fine.
Yeah, I
Right.
get rewarded for that.
That's how the first 20 plus years of these kids' life is.
they are
I
kept
was
in that.
I was talking to
idea.
someone yesterday. He's younger. He was like 20, like late 20s, but it was his first job outside of minimum wage.
Yeah.
He worked at just like $18 an hour, $20 an hour. But he was like started to get into a career job, and
Yes.
first he got the job. And I was talking to him. He was frustrated because there wasn't training, onboarding, but when I dug into it, he's like, "There's nobody telling me what to do," and I was just like, "That's such an opportunity if you reframe that."
Yeah.
But because he's used to school, he's like, I'm used to people. Like I'm good at
Yeah.
I'm good at the thing. I just need to know what to do,
Mm-hmm.
versus
Give me
the skill
directions or guidelines.
versus the skill of trying to
Trying to-
figure it
yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Get
Those are two
creative.
different things. And so
Mm-hmm.
when you
yeah.
talk to your daughters about that, like what's their response? How do they feel about?
It's a mixed bag.
Yeah. And how old are they
And
now?
I'm sorry about that, but they had half their life was in France.
Yeah.
Half their life was in the U.S. The formative years at school were in the U.S. So they got a little bit like that. I'm not sure they are taking all the opportunities that they may have in their work. Well, Elise, the youngest, she's like a blue collar. I mean, she's hardworking.
Yeah.
But if you don't open the window for her, she may not see what's outside. You see what I mean?
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
She's got
but
tunnel vision.
a little bit of a tunnel vision. So she decides something,
Yeah.
and she will stay on that track if you don't push her out of that track.
Sure.
Helen, the oldest, is more like, I'm to a point, I'm happy. I have my own condo. I have my little cat. I do my 9 to 5. She doesn't feel the need to get above that. To
Sure. She's comfortable. And
Timeless.
how old are they now?
So Helen is 27,
Okay.
and Elise 24.
24,
So-
27.
I mean, I was comfortable when I was 27, and I wasn't really doing anything or stretching myself. It wasn't until the pandemic hit for me that,
Because you were forced to.
yeah, I was exactly.
Yeah.
I was forced to
Yeah.
take time for myself and really evaluate
Exactly.
where I was in life and where am I going. And so, yeah, I mean, 27 is still plenty young to.
That's what she telling us.
Yeah.
I'm young.
I think there's versions of 27 is young, 37 is young, 47 is young, 57 is still young. I mean, life expectancy has gone up and up, right?
Yeah.
Right?
No, I hear you.
You know what I mean?
And I agree. But for me, at 60 years old, I was married by 28.
For sure, different world.
Yeah, very
right?
different time.
I was. It's just another generation.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
a different generation,
Yeah.
different. I mean,
A
the
new
amount of
new century and everything.
the amount of people that aren't even like dating at all right now that
Yeah.
are under 30.
Strange.
It's crazy, and then it's wild.
It is wild.
What'd you say? She has a condo and her cat, and she's happy with her condo and her
Yes.
cat, and good for her, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Yes.
Well, I mean, but even think about if we go back, even if several generations, people used to get married at 18, right? 18, 19, 20, like that was the time. And then you just said that you were married at 28. And so it's gone, it just keeps getting older.
The interesting part is like there's a biological clock for women where it can't get that much older until science intervenes.
Right, until science and all these other things. And I don't know, does the world need to take a little bit of a dip in the amount of people that it's producing? And,
there's a lot of people.
Right, there's a lot of people on this planet. So if there's some people who are happy being solo, does that actually support the overall health of the earth?
I know. I mean, I know Catherine and I, we talked about this a few times. We'd like to have grandkids.
Yeah.
But because for our generation, it was like the signal of the third part of your life. So grandkids, you have real estate, you have a situation, you have a social life, you have kids, and now you have grandkids. Trifecta.
Yeah.
It's going to be
It's gonna be a minute.
a minute before we have any opportunity for grandkids.
Yeah.
But it's okay. I mean, we're going to be like, I would like to, but they're happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our kids are happy. I'm watching Elise, and she's texting her boyfriend. She doesn't want to call him. She's texting. They're texting. At a point, she would sit next to him and still text him, not talk to him. So it's just different reflexes and a different way to go through life. So I'm good with that. I'm still on Earth, so I would like to enjoy it a little bit more and have grandkids.
Yeah.
Whatever. I have grandcats.
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 I have grandcats. Slightly different.
It's a little different.
Less expensive though.
True.
Less expensive for sure. I'm curious about the AI conversation and technology. As someone that has a bunch of experience in the software side of things, do you miss that at all? Do you miss kind of being up to date and in the cutting edge of the world in that way?
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm staying in touch with the sources I had back in the days.
Yeah.
But it's not the same. The craziness of AI just went too fast, too hard. And AI is only good because it's trained properly.
It's garbage in, garbage out.
Yeah, and a lot of AI were badly trained or were not trained enough when they got released. And it's a lot of mistakes. But the craziness, the financial craziness around AI for the past year or so, the billions of dollars invested and lost in that type of thing. What do we see on a daily basis that would really help change the way the society works or thinks or lives? We're not quite there yet, I think. We have a vacuum robot that is piloted by AI. Big day. Wow.
We got one of those a couple of years. Like it's I don't even think it's AI, but it has a camera and does the thing. I was like, when we got it, I had like this this is kind of like the Jetsons. Like this is cool. You know what I mean? It's a little novelty type thing.
Exactly.
But I'm like,
it's exciting.
I'm like,
but
this is like, how does this like, we live in a world where this is possible.
Yeah.
Right. It was kind of like a little bit of that for me.
Yeah. No, I'm with you on this one. I mean, the kids' excitement around that, stupid. I mean, I ordered a self-leveling measuring laser because in the new house, I wanted to kind of make the backyard a little bit more friendly and nicer. And I wanted to put solar lights because I don't want to spend my money on electricity either.
Yeah.
And so nothing is level over there. My driveway like that, half of the backyard is like that, the other half is like that, and we have a little sustaining wall along, but again, nothing level. So I wanted the laser level because it's a long wall, so measuring tape would not do, and I wanted to make sure that it would be level.
Yeah.
So it was on Prime. The thing was, it was supposed to arrive the day after. It was like 5 p.m. when I ordered. It was supposed to be there the next day by 8 a.m.
Sure.
Yeah, Jeff. It arrived 3 days after at 8 p.m. And I was so excited opening that box. It's a Chinese made, so I'm not sure the quality is high.
Yeah.
But I was so excited by that thing. And, I spent 2 hours in the dark, in the backyard, just trying to...
Just leveling it.
So I understand this type of excitement.
Yeah.
I really do. I really do. But again, when it's controlled by the wrong people, I mean, when the idea of AI is pushed for marketing reasons, again, it's too soon. It's too soon.
Yeah.
You know as well as I do, again, if you don't train them well, you said it, not me, garbage in, garbage out. And it's true for a lot of things, but for AI, it's really, really true.
I saw that this is something recently on AI about how there's a lot of job applications filtered through AI, which isn't new, but the nuance or the thing that someone pointed out is they're filtering it based on what quote unquote success is. So if I just look at the landscape of the top senior level executives in certain industries, they're all men. It's actually filtering out women because they don't have the qualifications that it says, I worked for this female soccer team and I was the senior blah, blah, blah. It's not this other thing. So it, by not even really so this is the garbage in, garbage out. It's filtered based on what? But it's looking across the data and says well, to be a successful senior level executive, it looks like X, Y, and Z, which is mostly male, right? And it's something it's like AI is a great tool, but with the wrong information...
Or without the training.
It becomes really detrimental in a way that people aren't even really aware of.
Wow.
Yes. And it's in your example, it's reacting more like a mechanical device than any intelligence.
Right.
Because it goes through criteria.
Right.
If you hit that, you go there. If you're there, you go there. You go there. You go there.
Right. It's as simple as the simple version of that is like a bunch of people named Mike fit this job.
Yes.
Your name's not Mike, so you must not be qualified. And
yeah.
Your name being Mike has nothing to do with the qualifications.
It's the only value of AI for me is to speed up things. It's to make huge work a piece of cake. Like crunch a lot of data. Optimize a manufacturing process because it's hard to optimize because of the amount of data and because of the small things that put together will optimize your stuff.
Right, all the parts.
The application you mentioned, I'm sure that quite a few of them were written with ChatGPT or by ChatGPT. So AI is creating an application that is going through the filtering of another application engine, another AI application engine. At the end of the day, what do you get? I mean, creating by AI, selected, approved by AI. Yeah, big deal.
Well, I think that's why the relationship part of the job piece and what you talked about of what makes me special.
Yeah,
we're really far from that being replaced. So
I've seen I don't know if it's a book or an item in a newspaper or online vlog or whatnot. Job position that would be replaced by AI, and it was going 2021, 2022, and it was going all the way up to 2035.
Okay.
Insurance broker were not in that list. So I have a fighting chance. I have a fighting chance.
The bigger thing for you in your industry is what happens with self-driving cars and how does insurance get applied?
It will never happen.
You don't think it'll ever happen?
No, never happen.
How does it work right now with the Waymo? What are you familiar with the insurance policies on Waymo and how those are?
There is.
And when you say never, are you saying it'll never be 100% autonomous driving cars?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. I think Waymo is written by Liberty Mutual, if I'm not mistaken. Or they used to be. But again, the liability is a nightmare. Who is responsible for somebody getting hurt by a robo-taxi?
Just saw a video of there was a Waymo that was basically blocking traffic. And it was either a fire truck or an EMT that was trying to get through that part of the street to get to wherever they were trying to help somebody. And the Waymo just stopped there and didn't know what to do. And then a cop shows up and is trying, and everyone's just videoing this Waymo that's just, I'm just here chilling. And it's man, if I was the cop car or the fire truck, I would just run it over and push it out of the way.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I mean, it's right. But it's now, what if that cost someone their life if they got to them sooner and would have been able to save their life or whatever?
Yeah.
that's a huge liability.
Exactly. It is a huge liability issue. And again, when you're an insurance company, you see the liability risks. This is where you're losing your money potentially. So a self-driving car, a self-flying plane, it will never be like a mainstream company.
Sure, yeah, it's not going to be one of the big brands. Right.
It will have to be created by the Waymo, Google, or whatnot company, because nobody else will want to assume that risk, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure. When you see how frisky the insurance company are for everything
Oh, yeah.
and anything,
Yeah. I don't know. I've seen it. I've experienced it. And yeah, I mean,
it's
they don't like,
suicide.
they avoid risk.
Yeah,
They're very
Yeah.
risk avoidant.
exactly. They're
As a
risk
company.
averse.
Well, it's good to hear that there's some job security on the relationship side, right? It sounds like projecting into the future of AI and the jobs that are, at risk. And earlier you mentioned that when you decided that this was going to be your career path, and then it sounded like didn't really build up referral partners, wasn't part of the plan until later. And when I was first starting with 6 Degrees was kind of the same time I think that you joined, or maybe you were with 6 Degrees for about a year beforehand. It was around the same.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious, like now looking into that and looking at like the relationship piece being so important, like what has being part of this community, how has that supported your business? How has that supported you as a person, as a leader? How has that shown up?
What I liked about Six, and to be honest, even from the get-go, where you guys were not on board yet, but it was just the size of it, meaning the human size of it. At the beginning, we didn't have that many opportunities to meet other people or to train, or like we have now with you guys. But still, for me, it was either that type of thing or being, where you are in a 1,200 people room and you have to provide one lead per meeting, and you have to pay a huge amount of money. I mean, it was just too large for me. And for me, networking was always a human size activity more than like a volumetric. Like the volume is not the key for me.
Right.
So Six always brought that to me. And the people I met the first time with Six, I still work with them. I still know them. I'm still following them after 4 years.
Yeah.
And to me, that's the sign. The first year and a half, I joined 2 other networking groups. I left them, and I don't know anybody else there anymore. I mean,
Yeah.
they're gone. To me, they're gone. So Six is like the cornerstone of the networking activity for me. I'm there. I'm with the San Diego Chamber of Commerce, one of the group. And I am with a small group in Poway. And that's it. I don't do anything else. But my partners that I've created 4 years ago are still my partners now. So
Yeah.
they're still providing me leads. And to me, that's what matters.
Yeah.
It's the retention of both my customers and my partners.
Right.
And again, from an entrepreneur, I'm not a big fan of qualifying me of entrepreneur, but for a business guy like me, Six, first, I'm with people that are going at the same speed as I am. So we talked about the same thing. We are small companies, small individual trying to run a business. They are kind of always connected. There is a capillarity. I mean, we touch each other field. Some directly, some not that directly, but still it makes sense for me. It's always like exciting for me to go to the meetings because I know I'm going to have a good time.
Yeah.
It's not fun and comedies and whatnot. It's serious talk, but it's always very fruitful. And you learn one thing at least every time. Megan is awesome. Megan Wood, you can talk with her for 5 hours straight and learn one thing every 2 minutes. She knows the stuff.
She's so
Yeah.
smart.
Yeah.
She is so good. Maria is crazy, but she's as good as Megan is. Maria is like, wow. That's my team. I mean, it's really, it's interesting. I think, my group I really love my group.
Yeah.
I had guest appearances in other groups, but I never felt the
connect-
vibe and the connection that we had
Yeah.
in this group.
Well, you talked about the French connection piece and how sometimes it's instant.
It clicks
yeah, and it's just
like that.
Yeah,
you have
right?
nothing special to do.
Yeah,
It clicks.
yeah, it just works, right? And so yeah, part of the
Yeah.
group dynamic for sure is
Yeah.
that's important, right?
It's a nice group, and again, I'm learning from them every single time. And we had a lunch without you guys. I mean, so outside of the 6 planning of things, we had our own lunch for the group. We stayed 2 hours together, just talking, and there is never a lull in the discussion. We always have to keep talking, and we rebound on one or another one, and we have stories to share. And
Yeah.
I mean, it's nice.
Yeah.
It's nice.
I appreciate that, because I think so much of what you're describing is like it's beyond just this transaction, business
Yeah.
relationship. Like these are
We became a
friends,
group of friends.
yeah,
Exactly.
friends that are supporting each other through business,
Yeah.
right? And that's
It's not cottage friends. It's not,
Yeah.
but it's friends. I mean, I think we appreciate each other. We appreciate I don't know how to put that, but the guidelines or the structure you two guys are bringing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. I mean, I don't mind paying my due for that.
Yeah, no, that's great. It's great to hear. I think that's part of, since the beginning of us wanting to create that space where it is about the depth. And like you said, it's not about going into a room of hundreds of people and trying to collect. It's like, so I'm glad that's that's what your takeaway is.
It's not a numbers game, right? And there's
No,
a version.
and I hope it will never become a number games with you guys.
No, you mentioned like just the human side, and the more we want to grow,
Yeah,
right?
the human side and size.
Yeah, we definitely want to grow, and we want to grow with the right people, right?
Of course.
One of the values is we
Of
grow
course.
with intention and care, and that's all a big part of it. And with that being said, there is this just the intentionality of creating the space for people to build the relationship part, right? Like that's where the structure comes in.
Right.
Yeah. It's almost a development platform.
Yeah.
That you're providing us for each of us to develop ourselves and the rest of us. I like it. I'm not always like attending the events, but to be honest, when I work until 7 p.m. and I need to go to Encinitas for dinner, it's hard for me.
Yeah.
It's hard.
I get
it's
it.
hard for me. So I'm going to leave that to the younger people.
Well, how do we
But-
get Catherine to come to one? And
You want to bet? I don't know. I mean, she's not.
I feel like she might have a good time at the right thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm working on her. To that. I mean,
Because that's been this has been a shift for us, a more of a light bulb that's gone off. Is so part of what we hope is like we're really good at creating these environments and creating these spaces, and so what if it's just part of this becomes, who do you want to show a good time? And that could be a current client, that could be a partner, that could be a significant other, it could be someone that you're a prospect. But who do you want to bring into the room? They don't have to necessarily join 6 Degrees, but if we can provide the space, right? And all of a sudden, if she comes and she has a great time, and she's like, "Oh, now I know where you go."
Yeah, no.
Right?
I agree, and I had on the other group, the small power group, we have a social event where we meet, but not in the same settings. It's not a networking business. It's just like a pure social.
Yeah,
stuff.
outside of the structure of
Yes.
yeah.
And so we were short on membership because we were to a restaurant. It was supposed to, it took place in the restaurants. And they had like a minimum amount of guests required for this.
Oh, don't tell me that you got Catherine to come to that, but not one of our things. Is that where you're going with this?
Well, you have to understand, it was 5 minutes from us
Sure.
in Poway.
Sure.
It was like last minute. I got an email last minute. We need one more guest to make the quota. I told her, "Hey, Catherine, do you mind doing me a big favor?" And so she came,
Yeah.
and she liked it.
Yeah,
Ooh, she
I was
liked
gonna ask.
it.
So she will
Did she
do it
have?
again.
Did she have a good time?
Yes.
Well, we do have a dinner in Poway coming up.
So if it's in Poway, I will hit all the events. If it's in Poway or Miramichi or nearby Miramar, I will be there, I think. If it's downtown,
Yeah.
once you need us.
Yeah.
That part we get, and we're trying. That's the thing that we're very conscious of, and we can't make everyone lives all over, and we can't make
Yeah.
everyone happy around. Like,
It's a large county, and the traffic can.
but
be,
we try to make it a couple times a year, like make it close, make it convenient at the very least. So
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Highway Rancho Bernardo, Miramis, Rancho Penasquitos.
Yeah.
No issue.
Up that way.
Well,
Yeah.
I will. Yeah, I'll send over some stuff
Yeah.
that we have in that area.
Yeah,
Okay.
we have a dinner coming up in Poway. We have something in Rancho Bernardo.
Where to in Power the dinner?
It's gonna be a private residence.
Yeah, it's at someone's house.
Oh, fancy.
It is fancy.
It is gonna be really
Oh, wow.
nice.
A new step for 6.
Well, we've done a few of these, and we
It's
just
a
did one downtown.
favorite,
I
yeah.
didn't know you had that type of event.
Yeah, we have
It's a dinner.
We've
It's
probably
intimate.
done 5 or 6.
Nice.
There's restaurants we love, but yeah, we're always trying different things. You know.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know. we play around with stuff.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, I think we're close to time, if not at it. So, as a reinforcement for this conversation, what's one thing that each of us are taking from this time together?
Just a good time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just a good time. I was not expecting that. I was expecting we would talk about the future, but I appreciate the idea that you wanted to better understand how I got there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you understand the past, you understand the future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of good memories came back when I was talking with you. So that was nice.
Yeah.
That was nice. I don't know if it was the vibe you wanted to have for that type of podcast series.
Yeah, it's perfect.
But and it's also a way for me. I mean, an opportunity for me to not talk about me via the insurance prism. We talked about me, just me, just me, and the choices I made, and it was nice.
Nice.
It was nice.
Yeah. I loved just being able to hear that journey a little bit more of like, what was it like, just the hearing about how it was growing up in France, and then what it ended up being actually the journey and how you got to San Diego eventually. So yeah, it's always lovely to hear, and that's part of why we wanted to share that, right? It's the same thing as earlier when you were mentioning, like, how do I sell myself? And so for us, this platform is a way for our members to tell their story and who they are and where they come from, because that's where people are going to resonate. So yeah, so I'm glad that we got to hear that.
I hope so, and I think so.
Yeah.
I think for
It's
sure.
just,
The thing I'm sitting with is like, I want to hear some of these Frederic in his 20s in Paris stories.
Oh yeah, when we cut the mic, I want to. We'll grab some beer sometime and go into it.
I'm sitting with that.
Too many mics in here.
We can do that over beers for sure. But I'm sitting with that, just kind of tongue in cheek with that, but also just for someone or later in their career to say, you know what, I'm gonna go take this leap. I'm gonna go do my own. I'm gonna figure out how to be my own boss, be calculated, and figure out the right industry for me. And just kudos to that. I think that's
well, thank you.
The entrepreneurial path. I know that putting that on
late bloomer, late bloomer.
I think that I hope that inspires some people, because I think it's right now and where the world is. I think that's the skill set that's going to be the most important. I don't know when it's going to happen, but AI is coming for every single job in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
I don't know when, but there's going to be some really massive shifts happening in the labor market.
Yeah. A lot of people will be forced to reassess.
Yeah.
What they have and what they should do now.
Yeah.
So, but the only regret that I have is to start this so old.
Yeah, 30 years earlier you would have been coasting, or you would have been coasting and just praying for grandkids at this point.
Exactly. But again, 30 years ago, I was back in France, and that's what I do love about the USA is also that you can reinvent yourself. And you don't have to, have shackles that you follow. I mean, in France, it's like that. If you fail in France, you're mocked.
Sure.
Here, you fail well. It's good that you failed. It means that you tried.
Yeah.
So if you tried once, you can try a second time. That's the real, true American dream.
Thank you for leading by example with it, because I think that your story is a great.
You just called me an example.
I think you are.
Are
think
we
you're right. It's
recording that?
inspiring.
I want my wife and my family to hear that.
We'll clip that part for him. But no, thank you so much.
Yeah,
this has
thank you.
been fun.
Thank
us
you
too.
for having me.
Yeah.
I just realized that we didn't talk about me being in Paris in my 20s.
Sure.
That was a missed opportunity.
We could talk about it now on this deep dive. Deep dive for Frederic. Eric's trip in his 20s to Paris.
Oui, oui.
What was your favorite thing?
What was my favorite thing? It was Christmas time. This was probably like 2009. It was right before Christmas. So it was December. And they had, you know, in Chicago, they have the Kris Kindle market.
like a
they had a
market.
version. They kind of had
That's cute.
a Christmas market. But it was me and my friend Zach. We went to Paris for the weekend. He was in Barcelona.
Mm-hmm.
So I was only supposed to go there it was supposed to be like a week, 10 days. And then I literally landed. I slept for 24 hours.
The opposite of what people tell you to do for jet lag.
Yeah, I just passed out. I slept for like the whole day because he had class and stuff. He was studying abroad, and once I woke up, it was like I didn't have jet lag, which was kind of magic. I was just like, let's go, let's do the thing. And so I was only supposed to be there for a week and a half, and he, like, while I was there, I just didn't. I don't know. I'm 21, 22 at the time. I'm in my early 20s, and everyone that he's in this dorm with, like the culture of everyone studying abroad, because obviously I didn't do that, but everyone was like, oh, like this weekend I'm going to Turkey, and next weekend I'm going to Germany, and right, like it was just, I didn't realize how close everything was, and how, like, once I'm here, like, that's what people do.
Yeah.
And so after a couple of days of people coming back and like, I just got back from here, and next week I'm going here, I was like, I think I need to extend this trip.
I think I'm staying.
So I ended up staying for like 3 weeks. So I basically doubled the trip.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. I was in Paris the same age as you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was the thing. So my buddy Zach was going to Paris the next weekend, and if I stayed,
So you wanted to stay so you could
it was
go.
the main reason I stayed.
Yeah.
I was like, and then it was just more of like, okay, well, if I just keep extending it, like I came back, like I think like the day before Christmas, or like a couple of days before. I just, whatever the timing of it made sense price wise for the flights.
Oh wow.
When I switched,
like came back home the day before.
I remember my mom being like, as long as you come back by Christmas.
That's a must.
That is my only ask. But we went to Paris for the weekend, it was like a quick trip. And we flew, and then we took a train, and there was a really funny part of Paris so when we left Barcelona, neither me or Zach spoke French, like zero. And so one of his like friends that was studying abroad gave us this like cheat sheet of like, I don't know, the 20 most popular, most common thing. Like, just if you know these,
Yeah.
right, you'll be okay. And on the back of it was, here are 10 like bullshit absurd sayings, like, what's the cow's ass doing? Like, I don't, like, just crazy things that the equivalent of like swear words. Like if you teach someone who doesn't speak English and they want to know all the swear words, just like the crazy things. But when we got there, we knew zero French, and we had traveled the whole day. It was like an entire day traveling, and we were starving. We didn't eat the whole day. Plane, train, get to this restaurant, and can't read the menu, and tried to like talk to the person in English, and like very much from a place of like not being like arrogant Americans, and just trying to like be respectful, and didn't give us the time of day. And we're like, fuck, like I don't know. So Zach starts going, well, this means this in Spanish, so like maybe that's what that means here, it's close. And we ended up getting like this liver sausage,
oh my god,
pate, like, and it looked disgusting. But we were so hungry that we ate it. But it was one of those things that was like, expectation wise, we thought we were getting like mushroom pasta, and like kind of got excited for like what that would be, and then it was just like this plate of just raw meat.
Well, and whoever that was serving you was probably like, these fucking idiots.
Yeah, fucking Americans. So that was just a kind of a funny moment. And then, but the highlight was definitely we're at this Christmas village, and it's right next to the Eiffel Tower. And I have this photo of like, we just got like these hoagies, and we got like real food.
Yeah.
And it's just like me and him like cheersing, like the Eiffel Tower is the background. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, we were just sitting in December. It wasn't super cold, but like just looking at the Eiffel Tower. And I just remember like we ended up going up it, and it was one of the most romantic things that I had ever done at that point. And just kind of like looking at him like, do we hold hands? Do we hug? Do we kiss? Like what?
What do we do?
I don't know what to do with you here. So those are the memories that I have from Paris. Was the liver sausage?
Yeah,
it was so disgusting.
I literally just wouldn't even. As hungry, it doesn't matter.
Liver sausage. I forget exactly what it was, but it was just raw meat and like pate kind of. Other than that, we went to the Louvre, and Paris was amazing. I loved it. It was a really cool city.
That's awesome. I wish I would have had a better experience. I wish I would have done it solo. The rest of that trip, I was solo, and it was one of like the 2 times that I met up with somebody that I knew. Like I went to college with them, but honestly, they weren't really my friend. Like we were all in the theater department together, but it wasn't like, I don't know. There was like an in-group in the theater department that I wasn't a part of. And so
why did meeting up with this person ruin?
Because my experience just wasn't what I wanted it to be. And again, like I'm not friends with this like I was like an out group in this theater department.
Sure, but so why did this person ruin it? I don't know. Like they were the ones that like, were they in Paris and they're like, I'll show you around and do a bunch of stuff. Got it. Okay.
They were already there.
They took charge of what happened.
Yeah.
While you were visiting.
It was like oh yeah, I'm gonna be in Paris, so like come with me and I can show you things, and you can stay at I don't even remember if I stayed with her or not. I don't remember exactly. Like honestly, there's not a whole lot I remember about Paris because I didn't enjoy Paris. Like I didn't enjoy my time.
Sure.
Like with whatever. So I wish I would have done it differently. I wish I would have just done my trip 1000% solo without meeting up with anyone that I knew on that entire time that I was gone. Except I did meet up with Rachel Loder, and she's the shit. So, but either way, just I want to redo Paris. I want to redo Paris, and I want to do it the way that I would visit it.
How would you do it?
I don't know.
No.
I don't know because I hardly even remember. I know that we went and saw the Eiffel Tower like go all sparkly and shit. I know I saw that, but like again, it was a moment that I felt like I was like, why am I with this group of people? I guess I almost feel like I like disassociated a little bit from like what I was trying, like what I actually wanted to experience of the city.
Sure.
So. Yeah, so that I need a redo. I need a Paris redo.
Yeah, who you're with matters.
It does.
A lot.
It really does.
Some people bring down the vibe. You gotta have the right vibe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like just saying, yeah, I'm gonna extend my trip. I'm gonna go to Paris and let's go.
Yeah.
That was fun.
I love that so much. I love like those spontaneous moments where I'm just like, yeah, I'm gonna say yes to the thing. And then it turns out to be amazing.
Yeah. I don't know. That was 20-something years, 15 years ago.
Fuck, that's so long ago.
17 years ago.
That's crazy how long ago that was.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that was the last time that I've been somewhere international besides, it's the only time I've ever been anywhere international besides Canada or Mexico.
And Costa Rica.
So
the Americas.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was the only time that you've been outside of like the Americas.
Yeah, because I went to Dominican.
That's in the Americas.
In the Bahamas. But yeah, so that's probably a cleaner way to say it is outside of North or South America. And the associated islands.
Yeah, that's all the Americas, Amor. Like that's just.
I don't know geography
I
unless
know,
I
but
go
like
there.
it's all like that's why it's like that whole.
That's what I said. I said North and South America.
I know, but then you had to add the associated islands. I'm like, yes, that's still the Americas.
Yeah, but it's not like the mainland.
It's still attached to the continent.
I guess what I'm trying to say is my travel is very limited outside of the Americas.
Yeah, very north and south, and not so much east and west outside of this, like I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I mean, I'm in the same boat. That trip to Europe was only my second time going to Europe or any other country outside of the Americas. And the first time was only to London, and it was when I was in high school.
So where have you been? London, Paris?
Well, yeah, okay, so on my trip
because you went
solo,
to more places while you were over there.
Yeah, when I went solo, I landed in Barcelona, I went to London, then traveled down to Paris. I also went to Nice in France. And then in Italy, I went to Naples, did some day trips to like Capri and Sorrento, Venice. I think those were all the cities I hit. I'm pretty sure.
Italy.
Yeah, so basically Spain, Italy, France, and the UK.
Yeah, for me it was just Barcelona, so Spain, and then France, Paris.
So just those two cities?
That was it.
Okay, got it.
In Europe.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but like you said, and I mean, even Valentina talked about it too when she was studying abroad, is like every weekend is another trip, right? Like it's so close. It's so easy. Even flying is honestly really cheap. I flew everywhere.
Yeah, I was like, oh, it's less than $100 to go to
Yeah,
Paris
it was like
from
$30
Barcelona.
exactly. Like to travel to some of these cities, it was crazy.
Yeah, I don't know what it is now, but I would imagine it's probably like I guess that like that's the cool part, and probably the thing that the reason that it doesn't happen as much here is like the culture shift isn't as drastic.
Right.
Right. Like there are states that are gorgeous, and there's all these like the geography and places to visit, but like the cultural shift isn't as much.
Yeah.
Where it's like, it's America.
Right.
There's McDonald's everywhere.
I mean, because that's something that Frederic talked about. He was like the wiring of being from France, right? Like he's wired that way. Mm-hmm. And so he wanted to compare. He's like, yeah, so you probably have like your Kansas wiring, and Eric, you have your Chicago wiring. And I'm like, it's all really the same, right? I don't feel like I'm wired from Kansas. I don't feel like there's something.
Yeah, it's probably it's just American.
It's just America, right? It's American.
There's big city, rural difference.
Yeah, that's certainly, yeah, that can be felt. Whereas like when I go to Mexico, yeah, I have my American wiring, so yeah. I feel that more because it's a completely different country. And so yeah, I think it is really, really unique to travel Europe and be able to literally experience so many different cultures in such a tight little area.
Yeah, I mean that's the magic.
It's interesting, the things that are in our backyard, or at least a lot closer, sometimes are just not as attractive, at least until we get there and experience it and go like, oh, this is amazing.
Like
but
there's so many parts of California that
1,000%. California's ginormous.
It's huge.
Ginormous.
Yeah, I would like to go. I like to go travel.
We've talked about going on a trip so many times on these damn deep dives.
Have we?
Oh my God, so many times.
How many times?
This has to be at least the 6th time in the last like 4 months.
Well, where are we going?
Yeah, where are we going? For the listener, help us plan our next vacation.
Roz, help.
Help
Ask
me.
Roz. She travels.
She does.
Little plug.
Okay.
I guess spit on your hand and put her there, bub.
God, ew. Put her there.
Or you can cut it.
Don't.
And we can do the blood thing.
Or we can just say it.
Fine.
I don't like either of the other options. No.
Put her there, bub.
Put her there, bub. What? So gross.